guys, what's up? I am here with my friend Palm. Introduce yourself to the people. What is your name? How old are you? And where are you from?
Well, my real name is Javon Wilkinson, but AKA Palm. I'm 26 years old, and I'm originally from West Palm Beach, Florida, but I grew up in Philadelphia.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so let's just get right into this. So right now, first before we start any of the music talk, I just want to ask you, like, what is your perspective as a young black person on just what's going on in this country? You know, with the marches, the protests, and the riots, the police brutality, the injustice, all of that.
My thoughts on it been scattered everywhere. It's like it just seems like as as somebody that's black, it just seems like we don't never get a break. No matter
Right.
how many times we take a step forward, it's like they always find a way to make us take a step back. So it's hard. Even during like quarantine, you would think that we could get some type of break, but it just seems like we don't ever get a break. But as far as like the protesting and the rioting, it's like at first I was not for the looting, but I understand why. It's just like if we want to be heard, some people feel like this is the only way we can be heard. But at the same time, it started off peaceful, especially in my city. Like Philadelphia is getting kind of crazy right now
Right.
as far as the looting and the rioting. But what people aren't telling you is that it started off positive. It started
Mm-hmm.
off very peaceful because I had a friend that was down there, and he told me that when he like it happened like maybe like it started maybe like 2 days ago, and he said it wasn't until like 5 6 o'clock where the rioting started and the
Mm-hmm.
looting started. But it's like you can't expect people not to be mad at what happened.
Of
It's like
course.
people. This is what kills me. It's like you can't plant a seed and then get mad when it grows. That doesn't make sense.
Exactly.
It's like don't get mad at what's going on. Like if justice was served, you wouldn't have this going on right now. So
Mm-hmm.
I just think we got to figure out like a solution and a plan. And on top of that, when we do get what we want, we have to continue to grow. We have to continue to support each other because when I'm not gonna lie, after Martin Luther King died, it seemed like everybody was satisfied because it seemed like racism was over. It seemed like everybody was getting equal rights. But then we stopped doing we stopped doing what we were doing first. Like we had black doctors, we had this, we had more, we had black hospitals, we had a whole lot of stuff that we owned. And
Black
it's like
banks too.
yeah, so it seemed like whenever we do get a little bit of what we want, we just completely forget everything and we stop fighting, which we cannot stop fighting even after this. So it hurts like the way that I felt 2 days ago. Like I told you, like it was hard for me to even talk to anybody. It was like I went through so many different emotions from like I didn't cry like maybe like 3 times
Mm-hmm.
that day because of what I felt. I felt so much enraged, angry, but at the same time kind of happy to see that it's like I was surprised to see how many white people were with us in Philadelphia that was marching with us. So to see that and to see that like it's some cops that's actually standing with us too. So
Right.
like and I don't like the way how the media is portraying one thing. It's just like how the media portray like black people in general. Like I find myself sometimes having to defend us because some people just don't understand because the media will take like one small part and magnify it
Mm-hmm.
to make it seem like that's what it is when it's more than what that is. Like if people, that's why to me like we all like people, everyone that's on social media has to do a job on counteracting what the media is putting out on social media.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like we have to be able to show both sides and show another perspective because they only show you one part of the perspective. But it's just sad and it hurts and it's just like I want kids, but do I really want to raise my kids in this type of environment?
Exactly. Like, I mean, and I like what you said about how like social media is showing a different perspective than what the news is showing. Because say like a lot of your older generation that may not use social media much or they don't have it at all they're seeing is stuff on the news. So it's like say like a lot of the older black people, they're thinking like, oh, our own people are messing up our stores, our black owned businesses. But when you think about it, like a lot of the break-ins and stuff were honestly by, white people or by like undercover cops. I found that out yesterday. A lot of
Yeah,
undercover cops are breaking in a lot of these stores and everything, black owned businesses. And then, but for some reason, the media, like the news sites, they're only getting like when the black people, like some of the black people will just like follow through after like the white person did the initial break in of these stores or vandalize these stores.
yeah,
Um, but and you're so right too. Like right now, it's just like I just I feel like everything is all over the place. Like somebody has said this about the coronavirus, but I also feel like about it with this as well, like with what's going on in this country. It's like somebody is like playing Mario Kart and when they hit that like rainbow like speed ramp and it's just like that's what I
yeah,
feel like the world is like ever since 2020 started and now it's like rapidly speeding up with whatever is going on. Like I still feel like everything's just all over the place.
yeah,
Um it's like I'm proud of the peaceful protesters that are standing up for what's right, like for the actual justice of the many lives lost. I'm proud of that. More power to you guys that are literally risking y'all lives out here during
yeah,
this coronavirus to stand up like that. But some of the rioters, I don't like I understand it, but I don't understand at the same time. Like I understand everybody's upset, but like somebody has said on the news the other day, there's a lot of misguided anger, and we got
yeah,
to turn our anger into something that we can turn into an organization that can stay doing this stuff even once everybody calms down. You
yeah.
know?
But it all depends on how like it's a lot that plays into it. It's like my friend like explained it to me. He said it's like a huge game that they're playing like mentally and psychologically because he had to explain it to me because he had to work downtown where I'm at and if like downtown in Philadelphia. So if you've seen a lot of the videos of what happened in Philadelphia, a lot of the stuff is happening downtown.
Mhm.
So he works downtown and they shut public transportation down without even telling anybody. They didn't tell anybody anything, they didn't say anything. They just shut it down completely.
Mhm.
So he got off at work around like 3, 4 p.m. and he was stuck downtown. So he started to get angry because now he's inconvenienced and now he's stuck down there. But
Mhm.
he had to really think about it and be like, no, like this is what they want. They want me to be angry. But he was like, this is just a game to them. And he said like when he was down there, he felt like a lot of tension. He said it felt like him being a gang member and he's on the wrong block.
Mhm.
So he was just like, when you're down there, you feel inconvenienced because it's like you can't get home at a certain time. So you're angry now. And it's just like, and then what happens when you get angry? After a while, you get fed up, and then you want to throw stuff, and then you want to do this and the third. He was like, "Yo, like He was like, I had to get away from it. It's like I had to call the Uber. I had to figure out a way to get away from it. He was like, because it's just like he's like, I can understand why people will want to do that because it's a psychological game that they're playing. And it's like I don't agree with the looting, but at the same time, I understand. If it's just like one of my friends asked, "What is the right way? What is the answers?" And I don't like that. That's what was making me hopeless because I was just like, "What is really the answer?"
Exactly.
It's just like it's like I know what we can do to help our people, but for like the injustice system, for the what we're going through as far as like America's system, what is the answer for that? I don't know. The only thing I can think of is us overthrowing the government.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, not just overthrowing it, but also I would say like I was just telling my dad yesterday, we just need more black politicians. Like we need to get like real black people, that are really involved in the community already, that's already helping out. We need
Yeah,
them to like step up and really take position, in politics. As much as I hate politics, I'm like, after seeing all this going on, we definitely need more involvement in politics. Like not just going to vote. Voting is one thing, but
Yeah,
actually getting involved and like becoming a politician and, you
yeah,
know, becoming the councilman, the mayor, the governor, all like imagine all black people like having our own police department, our own like majority black police officers in the police department,
yeah.
councilmen, mayors, governors, judges, all of that. Like if we had more black people involved, like real black people that's really trying to help out the community involved, I feel like that would be our answer, honestly, you know, or like you said, overthrow the government. But where do we go from there if that was to happen though? Like I guess reconstruct it after we overthrow it.
Yeah, because that's what I feel like that's what I feel like we need. I feel like we need like a do-over because this system is not it's not helping us at all. And
Mm-hmm.
then it's confusing people because some people feel like it's a race war, and it's not a race war anymore. It's really a war on power
Exactly.
because a lot of these police officers that's in like in these spots, they don't even, and this is what I don't understand. It's just like if somebody's gonna be a part of like a police force, they have like a test you could take to see if you're prejudiced or not,
Mm.
to see if you have like a preference or not. They have a test for it. In sociology, I took it. I had a slight preference for my own people, but that like I think, to be honest, they should take that test, and only people that score neutral should be able to be a police officer. And on top of that, like a lot of people that's in the military do not respect police officers because they don't take accountability
Mm-hmm.
for anything. So it's like this one dude was talking about it in the video. He said that like if somebody in the military was to do something wrong, their punishment would be, if the person did something wrong and the other people around them saw it, right? Everybody that was around that person had to do a certain amount of push-ups. But the person that did it didn't do any push-ups at all.
Mm-hmm.
So it would be like they have to be punished because they saw you and y'all in it together. So, and on top of that, if I have to do push-ups for somebody messing up, I'm gonna be mad at that person.
Exactly.
But so it's just that they're looking at him and they're giving him all that energy. Like, I had to do this for you. Like, this is like, so it's just like now, if that person has some type of heart and some type of conscience, they're gonna feel like, damn, like this is what I did. Like, I should have never did that. It's just like, I think like the police force needs something like that. It's just like, I don't. It's like I got a friend that's a cop,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm afraid for him because at the end of the day, I know that he does positive stuff for the community. But it's a lot of cops to me that might be Klansmen. A lot of cops that may have been bullied when they were younger, and this is their way on getting back.
Of course. I mean,
Or
it's a lot
or
of people out there like that.
yeah. So it's just like, I'm just tired of I'm just tired of the racism. I'm tired of the injustice system. But at the same time, I'm tired of us only looking at this moment and this is it. Like, it's the popular topic. Oh, this is it. Oh, when we're done protesting. No. Like, that's why to me it's just like, before the protest, before the injustice, I was already pushing everybody, supporting everybody.
Exactly.
I was already pushing us coming together. I was already pushing that. So this is not new to me, and I'm not going to keep doing what I've been doing. And I don't think you should stop doing what you're doing either, because your whole agenda was to push the black community and was to help the black community and was to make people a little bit more aware. But at the same time, you were all, like I said, you were all about unity.
Yeah, like
So
with all races, it's like I
yeah,
said, I'm pro black. Like I want to promote black businesses. I've been doing that, black talent, all that. Like, you know, underground artists that may not be able to be seen by the mainstream because they're not dumbing down their style and stuff. And they actually have a
yeah,
message in their music. But it's like, you know, I also promote unity of all races as well. Like whoever is just trying to come together as a human race, you
yeah,
know, like that's what my platform is for. But overall, yeah, I do like definitely promote like majority of like black businesses because man, like especially after seeing what's going on now, it's like even though I already promote black businesses, it's like I don't know how else to like really go even harder for black businesses than what I already was, than what we both already were. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Now I told you the other day, I guess I have to go harder by maybe looking up a black business that creates their own soap, creates their own rags and towels, like just get more
yeah,
in detail with supporting like just even the basic necessities that you use every day. Find a black business that sells those things, you know.
yeah.
Um but thank you for sharing your perspective on that. And like now, like with the music, like just talk about how you have been sharing that message in your music.
Well, when it came on the music, it was like this is exactly what happened. Like I say back in like 2013 is when I started making music, and then 2014, someone that was like like I could say he was considered like family because he was like a extended part of my family.
Mhm.
So when I first came to Philadelphia, he lived in Philadelphia the whole time, but I never got a chance to see him at all.
Mhm.
So when I was in school and I had got a call from my brother, and my brother had came to the community college that I was at. My brother had came and I got a call from him, and then I met up with my brother. My brother told me like Shaquille died, and I'm like, what you mean like short Shaq? He was like, yeah, he died. So and it hit me in a certain way because I felt like, man, like, because I know he was a troubled kid and he went through a lot, but I didn't learn that until after he passed, and one of my friends knew him and was like, see, the way how Philadelphia is set up, which now I'm glad they got kind of have like a group home system, but before they didn't. Before,
Mhm.
like, if you were a troubled kid, they sent you away, like they sent you like to a juvenile detention center. They sent you like all the way in Pittsburgh somewhere. So he got sent away to Pittsburgh, but he had completely changed who he was. But when he came home, he completely changed who he was, became a little bit more positive, got a job, got his own apartment, was working towards positivity, but his past caught up with him and he ended up being killed.
Mm.
So like I held that to my heart and I was like, from now on, I will only talk about positive stuff within my music because I felt like had I had been there for him, he would have never went through what he went through. So it was just like I was like, I want to be able to talk to a lot of kids that may be going through certain things, or an adult that may be going through something that may be going through what I went through when I was younger, having to figure certain things out by myself, having to learn things by myself, like dealing with like certain deaths at a young age, or just putting out a positive message for people to just believe in themselves and to believe in something and to follow their dreams, because like I wouldn't want anybody to go through what like I went through or some of my friends went through. And a lot of people that I meet now tell me like my message had got them through certain things. So I will always continue to put out like the positive message. And from doing my research as far as like hip hop, because I study everything that I'm into, like just knowing what it started from people telling their story. It started from all of that. So with me knowing that hip hop is based on knowledge and it's based on giving out knowledge, I could never not talk about that.
Right.
So it was just like it was that situation that made me want to put like a more positive message within music. I was already putting a positive message within music, but ever since that situation, it made me feel like I have a job, and my job is to really put out the music to give certain people knowledge so they can move forward in life.
Mhm. And I
Yeah.
tell you,
So
like, you're doing like a great job with that. I mean, anybody that's looking for music, like hip hop music and Palm style of just, wanting to like broaden your mind, broaden your spiritual eye as well, and
yeah,
also just, always wanting to listen to something like feel good music and music that talks about unity. Definitely check out Palm's music.
I
But
appreciate
I
that.
really like your story of like how you came about, because I never asked you that actually, but I really
Yeah,
do like how like that's something that really triggered you to make you want to do music in that type of way. Wow.
yeah, that's what triggered it, but it was also like the people that I was listening to at the time triggered it too.
Mm-hmm.
Because like I could say Dang, it's hard. I have to go way back. When I was younger, when I was young, like I could say when I was maybe like 8 years old, I was heavy in the house. I was heavy in the Outcast,
Mm-hmm.
heavy in the Outcast, heavy in the. I love Outcast, and I was into Goody Mob music, and then I got into Lupe. I got into like Lupe is one of my favorite artists. I got into Lupe maybe like around 2006, 2007.
Mm.
And that to me was like a weird spot in hip hop where it was like we were losing. It was like everything went to like ringtone rap. So I
Yes.
started, yeah. So I started to kind of like falling back from it. But
Mm-hmm.
then Lupe was like to me was like it was like everybody was talking about certain things, but Lupe was like over here talking about something completely different that was
Mm-hmm.
about positivity. But it didn't sound like he was nagging. It just sounded like something real, something that we all had to hear. So it's like, yeah, at the same time I was listening to Lil Wayne, but I also had Lupe at the same time. It was like it was more of a balance. So it was like listening to Lupe, listening to Common, listening to Outkast, listening to even Mobb Deep, listening to early Kanye, listening to
Oh,
even
yes.
the Game. And the Game has some good music and some good messages within his music here and there. Listening to Joe Budden also, because Joe Budden has actually real good music.
Okay, you're the first person that said they listened, like legit listened to Joe Budden music. Because I was just talking to a friend about this the other day. He said, I don't know anybody that listens to Joe Budden music. I said, honestly, me neither. But I said, I don't think he's that much of a bad rapper. So the fact that you just mentioned that, what songs by Joe Budden were like really powerful to you?
He has a song, and this song is maybe like 7 minutes long. He has a song called All of Me that's deep. That's very deep. And Joe Budden is one of those people like that surprised me because
Mm-hmm.
I was like, no lie, it wasn't until I went to a Slaughterhouse concert, not even know what Slaughterhouse was. I thought it was a rock band because the way that it
Yeah.
sounded. So I went to a Slaughterhouse concert because this woman that I was dating at the time, she was a hip hop head, but I didn't know what Slaughterhouse was. She was like, yeah, like I think you would really be into like this Slaughterhouse concert. So I
Mm-hmm.
was like, all right, it's a rock band. I'll just go. My mind's open. It is what it is. I didn't know what I was dealing with. But then when I went there and then I heard Joe spit and I heard some of the songs that he had, I was like, yo, I only knew him from Pump It Up. But I went and I dived deep within like his music, and like All of Me is one of my favorite songs because he talks about a lot of deep stuff that he personally went through. And even a song called I think it's a song called Walk With Me that a lot of people that are fans with him really like.
Mm-hmm.
And like before it was even cool, because now people are giving him his flowers. Before it was even cool to talk about like mental illness and to talk about like how you feel, like as far as like being on drugs and not really wanting to be on drugs and the bad effects that it has to it. Like he talked about all of that very early,
Mm-hmm.
but a lot of people didn't give him his praise until now. Like Wale told him in an interview recently that if it wasn't for him talking about that, he wouldn't feel comfortable talking about what he talked about, because it's like he made it cool for people to talk about their feelings. He made it cool for them to talk about mental illness and mental health, because that's what Joe Budden was giving within his music. A lot of
Mm-hmm.
people weren't really tuned in because they were so caught up in that Pump It Up stigma. They weren't really giving his music a chance. But I can say listening to him, it really got me through a lot of stuff. And All of Me is a very powerful song for me. Like even though it's 7 minutes long, but just about what he's talking about really kept me within it really kept me within the song. I like it's hard for me to write a 4 minute song.
Mm-hmm.
So to write a 7 minute song and it be about like a lot of deep stuff that he went through, like it like that song really made me a fan. Like they really almost brought me tears to my eye because how like it was just so personal. So it was Joe Budden, it was Kendrick, it was J. Cole, It was this guy named Odyssey, he's an underground artist. This guy named Blue, he's an underground artist. Jean Grey, Lauren Hill, Bahamadia. Um, who else? Lady of Rage,
Mm.
Rhapsody.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of artists. It's a group called Cooley High that's really dope. Um, Clear Soul Forces. Uh, the list can go on. The Roots, Jill Scott,
Mm-hmm.
Freeway, Cassidy, like
Yes.
uh even Pat Poose. I could say even I could even say Beanie Siegel because some of
Mm.
his music was really good too. It's a lot of artists. Tupac, of course, Biggie, of course, Nas, of course, AZ. AZ to me is one of the most slept on artists. Period. Who else? It's a lot of artists that I listen to that influenced me, that made me want to make music, because I'm a hip hop head first before anything. Like I just love good music, period. And I can even say an artist named Gil Sky Heron from way back in the day, which he's really a pioneer, but nobody talks about him like he's a pioneer. Gil Sky Heron, like he was definitely he's a singer slash poet slash comedian. He was a lot. He was a jack of all trades. He was
Mm-hmm.
definitely a lot. So he was somebody that influenced me also, from Bob Marley to there's a lot of people that really influenced the music that I make today. And it was a lot of experiences that I went through that made me the artist that I am today. But those are some of the influence and some of the reasons why I started making music.
Yo, like I'm sorry, I had to look up Gil Scott Heron to see what he looked like. I was like, oh yeah, I've seen him before. I was like, that name sounds so familiar. But
Yeah.
but yeah, man, and you forgot to mention Lil Brother. Yeah, I know that was one of the very first
Yeah,
people you
Little
told me about
Brother.
to check out.
My fault, my fault. Little Brother also. I love Little Brother. Oh yeah, around the ringtone rap era, Little
Uh-huh.
Brother was making great music. They were making great music. It was to me, and they were young back then. So I don't
Mm-hmm.
know how they were making like a real grown hip hop back then. It was so mature. Like it was super mature. So it was like their music was like, it was like the matureness of Common, but they were like 18, 19 years old in college
Man.
making that type of music. So and Little Brother, man, Little Brother, man, like Little Brother, they're definitely one of my favorite duos also.
Mm-hmm.
And like if you watch like a recent, I'm telling you, if you watch a recent interview, anybody, if you really wanna just be inspired and to understand like what it is to be a part of a group, like watch their recent interview. Just look up like Little Brother like recent interview, and they talk about a lot of the trials and tribulations they went through as like a duo and as a group. And to me, they had one of the best comeback albums, period. Like their album is so black, so pro black, and so like it's just so soulful and dope. And it's like, even though they haven't been around each other for like 10 to 12 plus years and they came back together, it sound like they didn't miss a step. It sound like they've been making music this whole entire time. So Lil
Mm-hmm.
Brother is definitely a strong influence of me also. It's a lot of artists. It's hard for me to name everybody. If I missed, I'm sorry, but it's a lot of artists. Even artists in my city, I could say artists in my city, or artists that's coming up like you, like my man's Avanti that I'm in a group with, Mosaic that I'm in a group with, Z Best, um Ambi from the Netherlands, Drury from North Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of people. My homie Vinny, like that's from the city also. It's a lot of people that they all inspire me, all keep me going. Like that's why to me it's like I never needed to, even if I didn't have the underground to listen to, I could just listen to y'all and be straight.
Well, thank you.
For real. Like I can listen to y'all and be straight, and all of y'all, every time I see like a post, y'all inspire me, completely inspire me. And I'm all for giving people their flowers when they're here. Like all of y'all really inspire me for real. Just seeing everything that you do like inspires me. Like I just feel like it's just so dope like with everything that you do as far as like videography, making beats, rap, like and the list just goes on and on with everything that you do. Like I feel like most people are multi-talented with the fact that you're doing it. And for you to be young and be doing it, you have a lot of time to grow and a lot of time to flourish. So with everybody that's within the city, outside of the city, from people that do support me, that don't support me, all of that has like a strong influence on me, like for real. Like all of y'all, like I said, all of y'all like inspire me
Yo, man, that's what's up, and thank you so
to keep
much.
going.
But and also even with yourself, I'm like, because you look, you even inspired me to get on Twitch. I was not like just knowing the
Yeah,
fact that like you're a gamer and you're a rapper and like you just keep it real at the same time. And like just seeing the way how you even grew on Twitch as a gamer, and then seeing now how you put music to your games, like now you're promoting artists, you're like a promotional person now. I'm like, this
yeah,
is freaking dope, you know.
yeah,
But you're so right. Like a lot, even myself, like a lot of the people that I'm really inspired by are people like you and many other people like musicians that I am in contact with either on Instagram or that I know in person, you know.
yeah,
I think that's the best way to get inspired is from people in your hometown or people that you actually connect with, you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Um but before we end this interview, I just want to get back to everything that's going on in this country. And I just want you to close out with, first of all, just leave some last words of just some of, I can't even talk, some advice of that you would want to share of, just how to approach everything on what's going on in this country right now to anybody that's listening. Like, what's your advice to them on just how to approach everything if they leave the house, if they feel the tension out there, how can they just keep calm and approach situations out there?
Like if you're leaving outside, just make sure that you just try to keep a clear head and understand why. Never forget why we're doing this. Never forget why we're trying to make a change, and never forget what's in your heart. Always remember what's in your heart and continue to push forward, because at the end of the day, I feel like this all should be about justice and unity. So keep that within your heart, but at the same time be safe and understand anything could possibly happen, but do not be afraid at the same time, because life itself is a chance. Every time you walk outside or anytime you wake up, you're taking a chance. So don't be afraid, but at the same time be cautious, but never forget why. That has always been like every time I walk outside, I always remember, never forget why I'm doing this, never forget why I'm breathing, never forget why I'm making music, never forget why I'm choosing to be a gamer, never forget why. And my whole thing is unity, is to bring people together. It's justice, supporting our black businesses, which that's something that I really got to figure out how to do, is to get more into, like, I want to figure out how to get more into black stock, so I can
Hmm.
invest in some people that are black, that's doing positive stuff, and because I want to be able to become like an investor in a way and just invest and support like black businesses. So it's just like, I just feel like you just got to keep that in mind and just remember and just keep a cool head, because when you go out there and feel the tension, that's gonna want to make you lose yourself. But then you gotta also think to yourself and remember, like, do not give them what they want from you. They want us to rage. They want us to be mad. They want us to confuse the war against power and make it a war against race. They want it to be that. They want it to be confusion. They want us to be confused, but never forget it's a war against power, not a war
Exactly.
against race.
Yo, well, thank you so much for coming on the show and just, giving your perspective on what's going on in this country and also talking about a little bit of music just to relieve, like, whoever's watching this. I hope y'all enjoyed the music section just to get your minds off of like everything that's going on right now. But, just getting back to the general topic of everything. Thank you again for coming on the show. Oh, also share your Instagram and Twitch with everybody so they can follow you on there.
All right, so my Instagram, I got two different Instagrams. So one of them is my personal Instagram, which has everything to do with music, and that's underscore palm215. And palm215 without the underscore is my gaming Instagram, and my Twitch is palm215. SoundCloud, you can follow me at palm215, or you could click the link on Instagram and the underscore palm215. I'm actually on YouTube too at Palm215. I started to get back on Twitter, but I don't really be on Twitter like that, but I will be a little bit more vocal on Twitter. So Twitter is Palm the Realist. If you just type that in, you'll see me. So that's all the handles that I'm on right now. But my last words to any artist is to just believe in yourself and understand that you're great, and you don't have to be competitive with anybody. You don't have to compete with everybody. Everyone has room to eat. That's what I feel like everyone should understand. So you don't have to prove yourself to anybody but yourself as an artist, and don't focus on the numbers. Enjoy the grind. Enjoy music, enjoy and love your passion, because had I had knew that early on, I would have enjoyed music a lot earlier when I was making it. So that's my advice to any artist, is not to focus more on the numbers, just focus more on the grind and love what you do.
Yo, thank you again, Palm, for coming on the show, sharing your inspirational words. That's what I'm talking about. And I'm definitely going to have you back on, man. Thank you again.
I appreciate it for real. Like, keep doing what you're doing. Also, like, you inspire me from the first time that I saw you making beats, period. Like, you inspire me, and you always have encouraging words. And every time we do talk, because there's more stuff we could talk about, but we gonna leave it at is, because if only people knew what everything that we do talk about.
Yo, like we're gonna break down everything we talk about into different episodes. Because we break it down to this episode, it's gonna be like 5 hours long.
Yeah, but thank you for the interview, and you need to definitely be proud of yourself, because what you have right now and what you've been doing is a gold mine for real.
Yo, thank you, man. Thank you. And same thing with you, man. Like, keep on staying confident in your work, keep on pushing with it. I see you doing a lot of different things. And having a lot of different things in plan. Me and you're gonna be collabing on some stuff soon, so
Yeah.
cannot wait, man. Thank you again.
All right.